Kapitel gehen.
Okay, today I want to talk about the Impulse 101 version 2. It's an essay about art, internet and everything. I will talk about the first part of the essay. It is written by Antonellis, in 2010. He is a Bauhaus master student, or was a master student?
Yes.
Was, okay. This essay is named after, or like, an artwork of his own. The artwork is a half digital and a half painted work. I think that's why the text and the artwork maybe have the same name. You can find this text I'm talking about on his website, just placed next to his other artworks. So it's presented like an ordinary artwork, like a painting or like a sculpture. It's very interesting because this text gets you get the idea that artwork too. Are you still there?
Yes. Okay. We hear everything you do.
For the PDF download, he calls the printed edition, he wrote a special preface. This preface is like a little philosophy about the old-fashioned books, like they are dying and yeah. So we're reading, you will recognize his awesome style of writing. Antonellis is able to put interesting in an easy writable form. In the introduction to the main text, he tells a little story about his point of view on art. He uses an experience every artist makes at least once in his lifetime. This experience is, well, you create an artwork, you make art, and after this you will realize that somebody else already made something like this or exactly the same thing. Yeah, I experience already. Yeah. His theory is there are time-traveling bandits who steal your thoughts and bring them back in the past. Yeah, but he sees not the bad or the sad part on it. On this fact, he tells the reader that this is the sign that the artist is on the right track, that you shouldn't see it as something negative. You can put it in a positive view, of course. Yeah. If you read the text until here, you're trapped. You will not stop reading.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Yeah. In chapter 0, Antonellis tells the reader what the Impulse 101 is for him. Also, he gives a statement about art and being an artist, something. Main information. Yeah. In chapter 1, it's called From the Cave to the Cube, the white cube actually. In this chapter he writes about art and how we perceive it now, today. It is a comparison of dealing with art in the past and how we deal with it. His point of view is very critical. He claims that artists should act closer to the audience or step down from their ivory tower. In chapter 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Chapter 2, maybe. Thank you. This chapter contains 8 smaller parts. Antonellis picked different problems or maybe topics in relation to being an artist. First, he gives an explanation of it, of the situation, and after he gives a kind of advice or a statement how to deal with those situations. I want to give one example out of those 8. I picked The Witching Hour. He tells a story when he was a smaller child. His father always told him a kind of horror story about the 12 midnight witches. They come and take the small children away if they are not at sleep until 12 o'clock, until midnight. And when he was a smaller child, he always had like nightmares because this. And yeah, this is metaphor.
A metaphor?
Yeah, for the fear he has now, maybe, or artists have now, to be not accepted, to have no, to have problems to find their place in society. Yeah. And his answer is not really clear, but the answer is that he also has those fears, yeah, and how he feels like it's nice. I just read it. I sometimes want fuck art, be a carpenter. The work is tactical and steady, and at least there is an immediate sense of accomplishment. Part of being an artist is always looking, questioning, having process orientated discovery, finding something new, and following an idea through to the end. Yeah, defining forms and space in is an exercise. Oh, sorry. in position. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's just that he says how he deals with his fears. For me, this essay was not really about collaboration. I think that he will be your best co-worker if you read the text for yourself and just listen to him or take the advices out of the text. For being an artist, he helps you dealing with problems and so on. So this is not about collaboration, it's more that he is your co-worker. This was my opinion. This is how I read it.
Like a guide.
Yeah, yeah, because this is what he says in the first part, that this is the if you read this text, it is just the Impulse 101. Is the cheat code in the game Half-Life 2 that gives you every weapon. Yeah,
Okay.
nice text, I liked it.
Okay. Good, thank you for this. First, well, we will see what the difference is, because all the other writers and books we were reading, the author was not around, like you are, Anthony. Yeah, I've turned it a bit down. But nevertheless, I think that this assumption is right. The reason to read this was more about, or the reason that it was more about to learn about your own capacities or your own problems as an artist, and being able to reflect on it from this point of view. So let's move to Nicola now, that makes the second part of the same presentation. Okay. Thank you.
Did you put the video?
Just on a stick.
It's on a stick.
Anthony?
Yeah, I'm here.
Ah, okay, good.
Now you're too silent. Now we don't know what
No,
you're
I
doing.
put it on mute because I heard you complaining about my noise.
Yes. Just a second.
Sure.
I don't see the stick here. Yeah, no, maybe it's the other side. It's fragile sticks. Stick is not showing on my system. I'll try to externally put it on. If that works. If I have the second part, which I usually don't.
Sometimes maybe it's like this.
There it
Yeah.
is.
There it is.
It was the other way around.
Yeah.
We're watching a film, yeah?
Yes. Cool. So we're watching a movie, Margarita.
Okay. So we will just watch it first, yeah? Okay. Anthony, you're seeing fine the screen?
Yeah, it's very clear.
We are amazed on technology on day of blackout.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Impulse 101, the master thesis paper by Anthony Antonelli, is a roller coaster ride through authors' ideas and selected historical facts, written in an interesting and quite non-expected way. Considering that it is an academic essay, one cannot precisely say what it is about, since it holds a bound of information from history of art, philosophy, physics, popular culture, films, TV series, etc., mixed together with authors' personal exploration and artworks, forming overview of phenomenon that had influenced the shift in contemporary art making in a rather subjective way. The format of this essay, the way it was written, completely breaks the typical academic routine by jumping and playing with facts and quotations, often in a humorous manner. It is interesting how the writer combines the ideas and facts of recognized figures with the ideas and works of his colleagues and his own, giving them in this way certain credibility and recognition. The text carries the reader all the way from caves to birth of conceptual art, discovery of the white cube or development of gallery space, looking back on the way at the positions of artists, the emergence of interactivity in art, ending with internet art. On this certainly entertaining journey, you will unsystematically jump around the facts, slang, the author's personal opinion, and having white stripes or Willy Wonka song from a popular movie as a quotation. Also, it holds a lot of explanations of what ASCII code is, what RMs or other internet phenomenons are, having theorists, media, and art theoreticians as a reference. There is a sense that every line of this text is like a statement, like a last scene of a movie that sounds good and leaves an impression. Those lines hold a certain position, which is not defined by critical approach or a need for an answer, but are rather assembled in a subjective, intuitive way. For example, in the chapter for the sex internet Machina, he uses metaphor of a cabin in the woods for how he perceives artists' position in previous century, so he can state his point about contemporary art making. The artist was alone in the cabin and created his work there. The impulse was there, but art is not yet part of a social relationship. The binding concepts which have pushed us to network and interact hadn't yet begun. This could be perceived as a certain problem, which could have been discussed, analyzed, to see how he came up to this conclusion, or is there any way to oppose it? This is one of the many places in a text where reader doesn't receive a lot of information about one particular subject, so he has to go on without questioning it. The most compelling part of the text is when finally the author's artworks are brought into it. It is basically a description of his artworks and the master one, where all of previous data collide together. At that moment, when you get interested, you realize that the text is finished, giving you a rather lingering feeling. In general, one cannot deny imagination in ways of connecting all of the data, but it could have been done in an elaborated manner, but one should presume that it was also a matter of choice. Special selection of quotations from Impulse 101. Good luck out there, buddy. You're gonna need it. Video game Half-Life. If they aren't online, they need to get a life. The universe is flipped. People on the internet have a life, and those not on the internet don't have a life. Alma Alaro. There's no earthly way of knowing which direction they are going. There's no knowing where they're rowing, or which way the river's flowing. Not a speck of light is showing, so the danger must be growing, for the rowers keep on rowing, and they're certainly not showing any signs that they are slowing. Willy Wonka, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah. That's a piece of its own.
Yeah, I really like the homage with that computer critical review.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you are allowed to have a copy of this as it concerns you naturally. So I will try to send it or upload it to you. But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That was really great.
So yeah, that was really good. I mean, I think you managed to really put together what's it's all about, and the fact that you really. I think that the fascination of this text derives, as you also said at the end, that or you also say once you start reading, you can't stop as if it was a, if it was a novel, and the reason is this very personal artistic perspective, the fact that you can always relate to yourself, and always there is some kind of sincerity in there. On one hand, and on the other hand, even if you are sort of, I would say there is a kind of critique to the fact that he's jumping from A to B to C to E, but this critique really comes from this old academic way. And for me, the big win is that Anthony has managed to not. To duck down under the powers of the academic and theoretic needs or what expectations, but to create something which is nevertheless and still interesting and personal and not following all these rules and regulations. Yeah, and that's the hardest thing to do, doing your master, in a sense. Yeah, and especially, as I said, I always tell everybody should read it. Because I think it gives a lot of, first of all, it's a lot of impulse giving, and second of all, it really helps to place yourself concerning all these things that are having influence on our lives, yeah, as opposed to going to the library and sitting and writing a text. The way we research today, the way we spend our day as artists and as normal people, where we watch series and then we play online and then we communicate with people and then we look for quotations. All these things are all this possibility also to get one clip and to find one picture and to connect everything is part of the new system. And I think that many of us give ourselves very hard time about that. Yeah, I'm not serious, or I'm not this, or I'm not that, and I'm not doing it the way, there is no way it should be done, and this is a great example. Yeah, and you can just trust your instruments because this is the only way. There's no other way to do it. And a little bit of, you have to find the right people who check what you're doing, that's for sure. But you also have to, this is also the same kind of daring that any artwork would be then, no? In this sense, so that's my little bit of mustard, as we say in German. And also, just as in order to maybe to do the best experience, Anthony, I went today, or like every day when I go by in the Kudreistraße, and I see your work has altered. It's not the original.
Yeah, is it still there?
Yes, it's still. Yes. So you people should all go. You don't have to go there anymore because they moved into the center of our university. But Kudreistraße number 7/9, there is this work outside, colorful, and if you look at its reflection on the other side, you will discover something happening. Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed the last time I was there, some of the stickers were gone on the opposite side.
Yeah, well, I didn't look through the window. I was driving with the car, but the main effect is still there. So you can see there is a reflection of whatever the reflection, and by now it's a photo. It used to be an original painting, and now it's a photo of the situation with a bit of glass, right? I mean, it's a documentation of the picture as it was hanging. Am I right?
Are you asking me? Is it a question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, no, it's a painting. It's a painting of the picture of the location.
Okay, good. So I have to do my homework, go there again, as we say here in German, zu Fuß, and check it.
Yeah, you can. It's also on the site. There's a clip on the site for people that don't want to walk down to Kudreistraße in the winter.
Well, this winter is not as bad as the last winter we had here, so you're missing on a very sunny, January in Weimar. Okay, we don't want to take any more of your time.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, thanks for having you. And as I said again, if you want to know anything about doing it your own way, then maybe you should contact Anthony and ask him how he really did it for the master. Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
And talk to you privately soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.